You want to know if you are on the right path. You feel that restlessness, that deep need to be sure that God is guiding your steps, to know that amid the vastness of the journey, you are not walking alone. This search is not superficial or trivial. Few pursue it with true depth. Today I want to share something precious and revealing, 12 signs perhaps never noticed, that show when you are heading in the right direction, enveloped by the presence and approval of God. These signs are like keys, opening doors to a peace that surpasses all understanding. C.S. Lewis once wrote, "Faith is the art of holding on to what you found, despite your changing moods." Think about that. Faith is not just accepting what is easy and good. It is holding firm even when everything seems uncertain, when the world around wavers and the path ahead is obscured. The signs we seek are like little lamps hidden in the shadows, waiting for our hearts, in reverence and patience, to see them. Proverbs encourages us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." Proverbs 3, 5, 6. In the most important decisions of life, our soul is called to silence and observation. God speaks, yes, but rarely in a loud voice. His signs emerge like glimpses, small whispers that, once perceived, can transform our entire journey. So what are these signs that reveal the right path? Let's explore them together. Open your heart and tune your spirit, for God, in his wisdom and mystery, never leaves his children in the dark, but prepares precious revelations for those who truly seek. And if you wish, at the end, say the prayer we have included, asking God to open your eyes and ears to discern the path he has laid out for you. Number 1. Imagine for a moment that you are holding a stone. It is a small stone, but after carrying it for a long time, the weight begins to bother you. Now, let's say that this stone represents something we have kept. It could be a pain, an offense, or even something we consider ours, like our time or resources. When we let it go, whether by offering something of ourselves or releasing old grievances, we experience an almost palpable sense of relief, of lightness. And it is here that the quiet beauty of giving and forgiving begins to reveal itself. When we talk about giving, it is not just about opening our hands in some act of kindness. Giving is a kind of music that only the generous heart can hear. It is as if there were a chord echoing within us, reminding us that we were made to share. Every time we relinquish what we consider ours, whether our time, our attentive ear, or even the little we have, we feel that something within us changes. It's as if a new peace is blossoming, filling the empty spaces. God calls us to this, not because he needs it, but because he knows we need it. It is in giving that we receive, says the old proverb. And there is a strange truth in this, like a hidden rule of the human heart. The joy of giving arises because deep down we understand that we are approaching that for which we were created, to be a blessing to others. And forgiving? Forgiveness. What is it but a gift we first give to ourselves? Think about it. To forgive is to open the bars of a prison that was, in fact, holding us captive. When we hold on to resentments and grievances, it's like trying to capture wind in a bottle. And the curious thing is that, by releasing the other, we are the ones who go free. Often we carry these grievances as if they were precious stones, something we keep safe, but that robs us of peace. Jesus told us, "Forgive, and you will be forgiven." Luke 6:37. And it is not just a simple rule, but a reminder. In forgiving, we are healed. Forgiving is loosening the bonds of the past so that we can move forward with lightness and freedom. And the peace we feel is the gift that only forgiveness can offer. Number 2, think of purpose as a silent compass, something that, though invisible, always points north. It does not shout or demand, but whispers, giving meaning to our days, even in the most ordinary moments. Finding purpose is discovering a why that makes us wake up in the morning with a fuller heart, as if the world suddenly gained sharper outlines and brighter colors. It's that indescribable feeling that we are not just passing through time, but living with an intensity that transcends the ordinary, as if there were a light within us guiding us with every step. It's interesting how biblical wisdom shows us this concept with such simplicity and depth. In their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. Proverbs 16:9. Ah, how many times we make plans and chart routes, thinking we know where we are going, only to realize halfway that we do not have the control we imagined. The reality is that our own desires, however sincere, often mislead us, driving us to pursue goals that, in the end, turn out to be empty. God, however, offers us a purpose that does not wear out and does not get lost. Without divine direction, we may achieve some goals, yes, but there is a strange feeling of incompleteness that lingers in the air, as if we were walking through a beautiful garden, but with our eyes blindfolded. Number 3. There is something curious about the impact we leave on the lives of others. Often we think of this as a choice among several others, a noble option, but still optional. However, for those who walk in faith, leaving a positive impact is not just a choice. It is a mission, almost a calling etched into our being. God does not bless us merely for us to enjoy those blessings, but so that we can be an extension of them in the lives of others. We are, so to speak, like channels through which God's love and care flow. When we find opportunities to express that love and care, whether through a kind word, practical help, or even a sincere presence, there is a kind of peace that settles in our hearts. It's like a subtle sign that we are where we should be, doing what we should do. However, if our circumstances or busyness prevent us from touching people's lives in a lasting way, it may be time for a little pause to reassess the direction of our steps. And what distractions do we not lack, right? In the frenetic rhythm of everyday life, we are easily drawn to the pursuit of success or personal gain, almost as if we were following a track without looking sideways. In this race, the impact on the lives around us can end up taking a back seat, replaced by numbers, goals, and deadlines. However, managing something, be it work, a business, or a relationship, without considering the well-being of others, turns any endeavor into something empty, like a building with beautiful walls, but no life inside. The Bible gives us a serious and direct reminder: to whom much is given, much will be required. Luke 12:48. And what God expects of us is that we use what He has given us to transform the world around us, even if it's just a small piece of it. Number 4. Imagine that supportive relationships are like safe anchors that keep our souls steady amid storms. Surrounding ourselves with people who reflect the values we cherish, who help us grow, and who respect what we hold sacred is a true gift. Proverbs offers us a beautiful metaphor. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Proverbs 27:17. This verse reminds us that true friends are those who not only comfort us, but challenge us to be better, who shape our character and bring something of value to our lives. Think of values as little jewels. They are precious, something that uplifts and sustains us. However, to truly live these values, we need to be surrounded by people who embody and demonstrate them in their daily actions. A circle of relationships without values cannot sustain us, as it cannot offer what it does not possess. What our soul longs for are those who truly support us, those who share the weight of difficulties and celebrate joys as if they were their own. And this applies to any relationship, whether a friendship, a romantic relationship, or even a professional partnership. It's a simple yet profound fact. If we are with someone who only takes without giving, who brings more weight than lightness, it's a warning sign. It's like being in a boat with anchors that instead of holding us up, pull us down. Number 5. The journey of personal growth and self-discovery is undoubtedly one of the most fascinating and challenging we can undertake. It is a path that leads us to become a better version of ourselves, discovering something new each day, an aspect that perhaps was hidden in the shadows of our own soul. And this journey becomes possible and enjoyable when we find ourselves in the right environment, a place that welcomes and encourages us, a place where we feel life gently pushing us forward. When we feel stagnant, it's as if life itself is trying to tell us that something is out of place, that perhaps it's time to rethink and readjust our direction. The people around us play a fundamental role in this journey. The right friends, colleagues, and mentors are those who function as faithful mirrors, reflecting both our strengths and what we can still improve. They are the ones who, with honesty and care, help us see what is within us, our strengths, but also our limitations, and inspire us to explore new possibilities. These friends and guides help us realize that certain paths may not be for us, while others, previously invisible, begin to make sense. It's a process of discovering the unique purpose that God has written in our hearts. For as Scripture says, there are different gifts, but the same Spirit. 1 Corinthians 12:4. And part of our personal growth is precisely this discovery of what gift we carry, the talent that God planted in each of us. Being in a company, a group of friends, or an environment that values growth and encourages the pursuit of new skills is a clear sign that we are in the right place. If our career or circle of friends challenges us while also offering space to grow, then we are where we should be. Number 6. The true path that God calls us to walk is ultimately a path that brings us closer to Him, promoting profound and genuine spiritual growth. This kind of growth goes beyond accumulating knowledge. It is about being rooted in faith, about a connection that deepens in our hearts, which strengthens with every challenge faced and overcome. Each obstacle we encounter is like a gentle hand pushing us closer to God, revealing, through difficulties, the greatness of His presence. These challenges, instead of discouraging us, are opportunities for our faith to strengthen and our character to align with divine will. But there is an important distinction we need to make. Not everything we face builds us up spiritually. There is a clear difference between trials that shape us and temptations that pull us away from God. If we find ourselves constantly in situations that push us away from the principles He desires for us, it may be a warning that something needs to change. The devil knows our vulnerabilities well, and through them tries to undermine our faith, trapping us in desires that lead us off the right path. Being in the right place means that the environment and the people around us inspire us to cultivate virtues like patience, humility, and self-control, qualities that mirror the heart of God and strengthen us against temptations. Jesus tells us, "Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth." Matthew 5:5. The friends and companions who encourage us to grow spiritually, who help us seek the meekness and strength of Christ, are the ones who truly show us that we are on the right path. They support us so that we can live according to the example of Christ, thus revealing that we are where we should be, because, in the end, the true path always leads us to a life closer to God, a life that reflects His peace and presence in every step we take. Number 7. There is something almost magical that happens when we are on the right path. Life suddenly seems to align, opening doors that once seemed inaccessible or even impossible to reach. It is not a sudden or forced movement, but a kind of silent dance, a gentle push, as if God Himself were there, guiding us with care and patience. These openings and opportunities that reveal themselves are like divine whispers, reminding us that we are exactly where we should be. And the most impressive part, we do not need to struggle against the currents or force anything. The paths become receptive, welcoming our steps with a naturalness that confirms God's presence at our side. And we are not alone on this journey. The people around us play a profound role in this confirmation process. When we are in the right environment, surrounded by friends, family, and colleagues who reflect God's love and values, it's as if an extra strength pushes us forward. These people are anchors and wings at the same time. They sustain us, and at the same time encourage us to dream higher, to dare more. They are there to lift us in our falls, celebrating every small advance and reaffirming our capacity to grow. This is the right circle, a group that inspires us, supports us, and challenges us to be better. In the same way, God also uses difficulties and obstacles to redirect us when we are on the wrong path. If the environment around us begins to bring unrest, if the doors that once seemed promising start to close, or if peace becomes scarce, it is a sign that perhaps that is not our place. God, in His wisdom, allows these barriers not as punishment, but as a redirection, a way of showing us that the soil where we will flourish is still ahead. He guides us to a place where our purpose can fully manifest, where the doors not only open, but where we find the peace of knowing we have arrived at our true destination. Number 8. There are moments in our walk when, even surrounded by difficulties and seemingly insurmountable obstacles, we feel a strange calm, a deep sense that somehow, mysteriously, everything is falling into place for our good. This feeling is a clear and unmistakable sign that we are on the right path. Sometimes, when facing blocks that make us question whether we should continue, God is quietly using these very challenges as instruments to shape our character and prepare our steps for the future. Think of a job that ends, seemingly for no reason, but that opens space for a new venture, a new direction that we would never have considered, or a relationship that falls apart, not as an end, but as the beginning of a new chapter, perhaps so that the right person can enter our lives. Our task, then, is to maintain a faith that transcends appearances, a trust that allows us to see each trial as part of a larger picture, a divine puzzle that God is patiently piecing together for our good. The psalmist expressed this beautifully. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23:4, reminding us that at any stage of our journey, we have the comfort and direction of God, who guides us even in the shadows. Imagine Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers, enduring years of suffering and loneliness in Egypt. Who could have imagined that those painful moments were not an end, but necessary steps on his journey to the throne? What seemed unjust and cruel turned out to be steps, each bringing him closer to the greater purpose God had for him. And so it is with us. What afflicts and challenges us today will soon become part of our testimony of faith. Each trial will become a living reminder of God's care, of how He aligned everything so that we could grow, mature, and finally understand that He never left us, but was all along preparing us for something greater. In the end, everything will truly align, and we will see that each moment was an essential piece of the plan that God weaves for our good. Number 9. There are moments when it seems a message is etched in our hearts so clearly that we almost hear it echoing in every corner. In dreams there is a whisper, like a gentle invitation. In the words of men and women of faith, the same advice is offered almost like an echo. Friends and family, unaware of our prayers, bring words that confirm what we are seeking. These are signs from God, small indications scattered around us, forming an unmistakable pattern. He in His patience softly but firmly repeats, like one saying, "I am here, and I will go with you if you choose this path." In the book of Jeremiah, God invites us with these words, "Call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know." Jeremiah 33. 3. Sometimes when we seek an answer for something specific, a new job, an opportunity, or an important issue in a relationship, God responds to us in an unexpected way. In His wisdom, He redirects our hearts to an option we may not have considered yet. It's as if He is telling us that He knows the path better than we do, that He sees beyond our plans and is insistently calling us to what truly is His will. The great challenge, as always, is to surrender and trust. When these signs come with clarity, our responsibility is to open our hearts and walk as He shows us. And each time we resist this direction, which we often feel is His will, but hesitate, we end up trading God's peace and purpose for our own insecurity. Ignoring these signs is like turning off a flashlight in the dark, choosing to wander without the light He offers. And without Him, the path is barren, marked by the dangers of disobedience and the uncertainty that follows when we choose to ignore His presence. Number 10. There are moments when life, almost imperceptibly, seems to adjust as if each piece is finally in its place. In those times, a deep feeling of peace and contentment rests upon the heart, a serenity that does not depend on the absence of problems or perfect circumstances, but is something much deeper and rarer. Isaiah reminds us that one of Jesus' names is the Prince of Peace, Isaiah 9:6. And this shows us that where He dwells, there also establishes this peace, a presence so palpable that it can be felt even in the most challenging situations. It's as if, without needing words, God is confirming the direction of our steps, signaling His approval and guiding us with an unmistakable tranquility. This peace is a gift, a direct sign that we are in harmony with divine will, a response from God Himself to our spirit. It is not something to be ignored or underestimated. It is, in fact, a gift to be embraced with reverence, for not everyone finds it in their decisions. Many, when choosing their paths, fail to hear the state of their own hearts. They act hastily, pushed by rush and anxiety, and end up embarking on directions they knew deep down were not safe. God does not leave us wandering in the dark. He speaks to our hearts, and it is essential to learn to discern His answers in every decision, when feelings of restlessness or discomfort arise. This internal turmoil should not be dismissed as trivial. It is a silent alert, a gentle reminder that it may be time to stop and reconsider, for God never pushes us toward paths that disturb or afflict our souls. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10 invites Scripture. This is the invitation to recognize that when He is in control, a genuine peace envelops and fills us, a peace that does not require the approval of others, or a desperate search for security where it does not exist. When we have this peace, which is more than a mere feeling, but a firm certainty in God, we know that we have everything we need. It guides us, strengthens us, and above all confirms that we are under the care of the very Prince of Peace, who will never leave us without His guidance and presence. Now let's pray. Lord, I ask You to grant me a profound sense of peace, a peace that transcends any human understanding, that in all my decisions I feel Your presence and the serenity that only You can give. Help me recognize when I am in harmony with Your will, and always seek Your peace as a sign that I am on the right path. Calm my spirit in difficulties and guide me in the safety of Your peace. Father, open my eyes and ears so that I can see and hear the signs You are sending. May the repeated messages, dreams, and words of sincere counsel be clear to me. Give me discernment to perceive Your voice amidst the routine and commitments, and humility to follow the directions You give me. May I be attentive and willing to follow the paths You have reserved for me. Beloved God, thank You for working all things for my good. Help me trust in You, even when I encounter obstacles. May I see with eyes of faith that each challenge can bring me closer to Your purposes. Teach me to surrender to You, control over every area of my life, and to rest, knowing that as long as I follow You, everything will align for Your glory and my good. Lord, I thank You for the opportunities You place in my path. Help me recognize the doors You have opened and to enter through them with confidence and gratitude. I ask for discernment to differentiate between the right doors and those that merely appear good to my eyes. May I not stray from the path and find in each new opportunity a reason to grow and glorify Your name. God, I desire to draw closer to You each day. Place me in environments that lead me to spiritual growth and remove from me anything that distances me from You. I ask for courage to face temptations and overcome them, knowing that each victory brings me closer to You. May my life reflect Your love, and may I continue to grow in patience, humility, and faith. Father, help me discover more about who I truly am in You. Guide me on my journey of personal growth, and place people by my side who help me know myself better. May I recognize my strengths and limitations and use them for Your purpose. May I always be willing to learn and evolve, seeking a life that honors You. Lord, thank You for the people You have placed around me. Give me wisdom to choose friendships and relationships that uplift me and bring me closer to You. May I be a faithful friend and a loving presence for others, just as they are for me. Remove from me companions that are not for my good, and strengthen my faith through true and edifying relationships. God, may my life be a blessing to all around me. Teach me to give of myself and serve with an open heart, so that I may positively impact the lives of those who cross my path. May I be a reflection of Your love and grace, and that, through my words and actions, others may come to know You. Use me as Your instrument and help me spread Your goodness. Father, reveal to me the purpose You have prepared for my life. May I live each day with the certainty that I am walking towards the destiny you have traced. Help me to hear your voice amidst my plans, and teach me to trust that you guide my steps. May my purpose always be aligned with your will, and may my life honor you in all I do. Lord, grant me a generous and forgiving heart. May I give without reservation and forgive without holding grudges, knowing that, in doing so, I am obeying your commandments. Help me find joy in giving and freedom in forgiving, so that my soul is always at peace and aligned with your love. Free me from any resentment and guide me to a life of kindness and compassion. May these prayers bring peace and inspiration to every area of your life.